Hey guys, welcome back to Creative Careers Podcast. On today's episode, I had a chance to sit down and talk with Jacob Cantrell and MJ Harris. These two guys are what make up the team known as Lumen. Lumen is a real estate media company based right here in the Birmingham area, and they really are changing the name and changing the game of real estate photography and video. Lumen is really setting themselves apart both in the quality of their product and the experience for their clients. I really was excited to sit down and talk with Jacob and MJ, and I'm really excited to share this conversation with you now. Check it out.
Okay, all right. So we've got MJ,
Yes,
right?
sir.
Also known as many other names, but we'll go with MJ today.
That's actually true.
And we've got Jacob Cantrell. MJ, what's your last name?
Harris.
Harris. Welcome to Creating Careers Podcast. Thank you both for just taking the time to sit down and talk with me. I understand you had some trouble getting here between, cats almost bursting into flames and trains, right?
Yes. And my stunning ability to always be 10 minutes late to something.
That works.
right.
That works. MJ, did you have any trouble getting here
I
other
did
than
not.
waiting on him?
I used to actually live over here in Hillsboro, so I was
Yeah.
aware of all the interesting traffic routes and trains, so allotted time.
Yeah. Trains around here are can be problematic. You will probably hear one or two, maybe simultaneously on this, while we're here, just talking.
Yeah.
So they happen all the time. All right. Well, I do have some key questions that I want to go into. I've got some slides that I've sort of prepared. I really want to take a little bit of time and get to know sort of the two of y'all and the I guess the business that y'all have sort of created together, and we can talk about that. We'll also talk about some of your history individually, how you sort of your creative journey, so to speak. All right, does that sound good?
Sounds good,
great.
yeah.
All right, let's. Now my mouse isn't working. There we go. All right, so Lumen, that's the business y'all have created. Can you just tell me, and feel free talk over each other, tell one to shut up and take over, whatever. But what is Lumen? What is this business you've created? Who is Lumen?
Lumen Boys.
We are the Lumen Boys. Wow. What is that? Do you want to try to take a stab? I'm curious what you might say first, actually.
Let me just say this. Looking at this slide, right, and then knowing you, Jacob, and meeting you today, MJ, and also seeing some of your social content, there's a little bit of a juxtaposition, okay? Because looking right here, even Lumen, like it's a very high, like class kind of look to it, aesthetic. And then your social content and some of the stuff that we'll look at later is very relaxed, casual, approachable, comical, and even just the little bit of time that I've spent with two of you together, I see that also. I'm curious to know, like, how is that as far as that dichotomy, as far as your brand versus your brand, you know, to some degree, and how well is that being received by clients? So I know that's a lot. Let's first start. What is
I was
Lumen?
about to say, I got to answer for all that.
Yeah.
I want to hear your definition of Lumen right out the gate. It's a test, guys.
It's a test. If I fail, I'm fired.
Yeah.
No, real estate media, it's kind of in the name. Really just trying to bring these houses in the best light, present them in the best light. That's kind of Lumen, bright. It's kind of the light metaphor.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely very light, airy, aesthetic kind of vibes.
Did y'all come up with sort of the name together, or was this something separate? Did y'all start this together?
I came up with it. Yeah.
Okay.
So like I've always had this is like a smaller part of a bigger thing, in that I've always had like my big media company name in mind, and it's always been Bright Media Company.
Okay.
Because Bright was it's like, I think it was my like dad's mom's maiden name or something. It's an old family name. Let's put
Yeah,
it that way.
yeah.
And I was like, oh, cool, Bright, like light as bright, Like, that's cool. We can run with that. So then I started thinking of making this Lumen, before I even really made a actual production company.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was like, ooh, it'd be cool if I kept like the name like in the spectrum of light. So then like, I don't know, Lumen just felt like stately and had a nice aesthetic kind of to it.
Yeah,
So
it's definitely, to me, it's really neat how words can have that like almost classification to it, and Lumen just feels that like higher class luxury kind of name, and then you put it with this kind of font, it really feels great, especially whenever you think of like real estate. So props to you on the name, props to you on the brand. It just has that. I mean, you put it next to these photos, obviously, even more so. So props to y'all on the work you're doing. But Jacob, I know you've had a long history of video and photography work. And I'm gonna say something that I don't intend to be offensive in any way, but so I apologize to anyone out there that may feel offensive. Real estate doesn't feel very like it's almost like weddings. People
100%.
do it only to get out of it eventually, you know. But it seems like you are doing the opposite. You've done video production for so long at various levels, and now it's like in some people's mind it could be you're almost stepping back into real estate. Talk about that. What made you decide to do this?
So that's actually really funny that you say that.
Am I completely off base on it?
No, you're not. I vowed to never do real estate. That was like one of the first things I did when I started out.
I've said the same thing before.
I took some photos, and everyone that I had always worked with was like, there's no money in real estate. Agents don't want to pay.
Right.
It's a race to the bottom, all that.
Yeah.
And about a year and a half ago, I think, I was actually shooting photos for an interior designer at a very, very nice home in Mountain Brook.
Yeah.
And that I literally like took all these pictures of this house, and that designer reached out to me after she got them back. She was like, hey, these are great, right? And she was like, hey, this house is actually about to be for sale, and the listing agent loved your photos. She wants your contact. Will you come and like take listing photos for her? And I'm like, well, I kind of just took pictures of this house. You want me to basically come retake them? And they were like, yeah. So I basically just took the exact same photos, which is really funny to me that I'm like, you could have just used these other ones that I had, but hey, wouldn't be here if not that. So we're not going to question anything.
The invoice would have looked a little different. Maybe.
Right. No, it did. There were two very different invoices. And also like I was taking different kinds of pictures for them, like the way more detail with the designer and everything. Yeah. But, I did those two shoots of that same house, and something like clicked in me. I really enjoyed it way more than I thought I would. And across most of last year, up until about November, I'd say, like I started forming this idea in my head, like, oh, this is something I may do one day. Like it'd be cool to bring people on and like show them the process of how I do it and whatever. And it got to a point where I had done 10, 15, 20 houses maybe. And I really was just like, I think I actually like this, because one of the biggest things that I've always struggled with in shooting is like, it feels like work now. Like when I first started shooting and doing media production, like it was fun. It was cool. I was constantly learning. I still am constantly learning. But somewhere along the way, like, to be honest, the fun kind of got lost, and the like drive to build something got lost. It was more like I found myself in the position where I really was what my title was. I was just a freelancer. That was, I would just get hired to go do jobs, and some days it'd sound cool and some days I would dread it. Well, I was finding that with these houses, I was like having fun and I was looking forward to it. And then someone wouldn't book me for a house for a few weeks, and I was like, oh, I kind of missed that. Hey guys, you got any houses coming up? Like I want to do that. And met MJ and kind of pitched the idea to him. And one day in November, I was like, I had this site built and sitting there for like 6 months. And I was like, it needs like 2 things to finish it. Let's just finish it and post it today and just make it happen. And put it out there and have started iterating everything. And, every time we reach an obstacle, we just find the solution for it, basically.
Yeah.
And it's fun. I really, really enjoy it. Back to answering kind of your first question, like what is Lumen? We are trying to differentiate ourselves from your typical like real estate media brand, in the sense of like, I think part of what makes us unique is the attention to detail we're going to give. Like a lot of real estate photographers will do that, but especially in our videos, and us both coming from like a video production background, just making agents feel comfortable and make them feel confident to be on camera. Like my years of being able to go, I've done an interview with like Nick Saban before, right? And if you can look at Nick Saban and be like, hey, you need to adjust your shirt, it doesn't look right, or hey, say that again. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like,
You didn't kill it.
Right.
That's hard to like tell Nick Saban.
Exactly. So, having worked with like people like that, I don't know, it gives me the confidence to go and just, hey, I didn't like the way that sounded. Let's do this again. Cause I'd rather these agents, maybe get a little annoyed with me on the spot. Like, hey, why is this guy making me do this over and over again? And then they get the video back. And so far about every video delivered, they're like, oh my goodness, this is like the best video ever. I love this.
Well, you've always had really high standards for yourself and the kind of work you do. You've always sort of delivered incredible product from my perspective that I've seen from you.
Thank you.
But I see that translated to this, but I think even more than that, it's what you're saying with making people feel comfortable. So many businesses, regardless of kind of industry, they work with people they enjoy working with. And if they don't enjoy working with you, they move on and find somebody else. Mm-hmm. And the two of y'all, just from your social presence, I'm like, those guys would be fun. And I think that's a little bit, I asked earlier about that sort of juxtaposition. And I think what it is, hey, here's our product. Our product is high level, high class, but here's us. Here's the experience of working with us. Casual, comfortable, relaxed, fun, engaging, that kind of stuff. So again, props to y'all for what you're doing. Props to you for seeing that niche as something that you could go into and make it fun, make it long lasting, not just one of these things that people do starting out to just get out of. So I think you've done good with it.
Thank you. And I definitely think that, there's still that avenue for people who are just starting out and hop into real estate. And it can be perceived that way. And that's where I wanted, thank you for the compliments on the branding, that I wanted it to give that premium product.
Yeah. We're not newbies at this. We can
in our
deliver
first rodeo.
Class. What's that?
It's not our first rodeo.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
People will be like, oh my God, how long have you guys been around? And I'm like, 3 or 4 months actually. Yeah. But I was like, but I've been working in media for I've been working in media for 10 years. So that's where this comes from. And no, you actually have labeled us dead on. Good job doing your research. That's exactly what we're going for.
I didn't offend you at all.
No, not at all.
All right, there's still time. All right, so let's talk about.
Oh gosh.
Let's talk about your creative journey, and specifically MJ. I'm curious to know yours. I've known Jacob for a little while now, and even before I knew him, I followed him on social media, especially with the stuff you did with George and Seed Creative. But MJ, tell me a little bit of your creative journey. First of all, where are you from? So a little bit of that, and then how did you get started in media in general? And it sounds like yours is maybe music was your first one. So talk a little bit about that.
Yeah. So I my dad's a pastor, so I grew up in the church. Always pianos, guitars around the house.
So many creatives
100%.
Got their start in the church. It seems to be a safe place to experiment and learn.
100%.
Especially, I was a child of the 90s, or a teenager of the 90s. So especially in the 90s it was, but I think even into the 2000s, which still may be predating a little bit of some of y'all at least. So, but anyway, you were saying you started off in the church with your dad as a pastor.
Yeah, and just playing music and guitar, piano, and I used to set up my iPhone and make little cover videos that way.
Yeah.
And just recording the audio straight off the camera or the iPhone. But I always just felt creative and experienced that through music first, and really was able to explore it through that. And then after college, I moved back here and started helping out with my old wrestling club, just coaching. And
Was that at Oak Mountain?
this was downtown. It's called Ironclad Wrestling.
Oh yeah. I've seen some Oak Mountain stuff on your socials, so that's why I
Right.
asked
I
it,
actually, that's where I wrestled, and I helped them out with their media as well this year.
Yeah.
State champion right here.
Really? Nice.
Back in the day, that was a
Yeah.
long time ago.
Yeah, but not that long ago, national champion, U.S. Open champion right here. I'm going to give this man his credit.
Okay,
He's,
props, man.
He's don't get in a fight with him.
No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't anyway. I mean, but especially now. So I wrestled in high school.
Okay, awesome.
My freshman and sophomore year.
That's
I was
awesome.
terrible. You know, didn't grow up doing it or anything like that. And then I coached wrestling.
Okay.
Probably still terrible in a lot of ways, but you know, a body in the room a lot of times is what you needed as a coach.
100%.
I was really good at blowing the whistle and telling them to do conditioning.
Hey,
you know?
that's what I'm best at right there. I say I can watch sprints all day.
Yeah, my son now, he's in 7th grade and wrestled this year his first
that's
year.
awesome.
And he loves it.
That's so cool.
Yeah, so he would love to meet you and probably have you throw him around on the mat. For a
Yeah,
little
for
while.
sure. We can scrap. But yeah, wrestling's a big part of my background. I did that, and I like did music, but I never really knew how to like combine the two. I always felt like they're kind of just different. Like when it was wrestling season, I wasn't playing music as much. When it was the summer, like I'm really focused on music, not training as much. But then after college, I came back home, and the head coach, Jake Elkins, who runs it, he's like, "You make music, right? You're creative. Like, you picked up a camera before?" And I was like, "Not really." So he just hands me a Sony A7 III, and I just start every tournament I'm at coaching, just start filming matches, and we got a pretty decent little social following.
Yeah.
Wrestling was always something I was like kind of scared to post when I was in high school. I thought people think this is weird. It's not cool.
Right. Yeah.
And so it was my goal to kind of like show it in a light to people who hadn't been introduced to it. Like, this is cool. It's got, I don't know, good sound design, good color or whatever. But that was my introduction into video. And then, met Jacob, and we'd had a lot of realtors at the club. Like, "Man, who does y'all's media? Who does y'all's media?" And so I'd been interested in real estate, but really didn't know how to like get my foot in the door. And then he approached me with his Lumen idea. And we kind of been going ever since.
Do you see your background in music really aiding you in video, especially? Like in my experience, I've seen people that are more experienced in music. It seems like that's a real asset. How do you see it?
I definitely believe so. I think I'm best at. He's definitely a way better shooter than I am. But I do a lot of our editing. Yeah. And I think just working in like GarageBand and Ableton, like learning compression and like EQ has helped like transfer over to like editing, sound design. Just having that basic knowledge, I feel like that's kind of can be more abstract to understand than like color.
Yeah. When you say sound design, I mean, I don't do sound design. I take a song and I bring it in, and if I need to stretch it or shrink it, thankfully now AI tools have gotten a little bit better at that.
It's scary good. It's scary good now.
Yeah. So, but what when you say sound design, what exactly does that involve for you? Are you bringing in more than just like a track? Are you bringing in a lot of other sounds to sort of enhance it?
Yeah, so a lot of the content we edit is like social reels. So we try to keep it like fast paced and engaging. So we're doing a lot of like metallic risers, whooshes, risers, hits. Whenever we're outside, we'll do little birds chirping, just some ambiance.
Yeah.
But that's just so fun to me, trying to create the atmosphere and just appeal to all those senses.
I used to follow, and I still follow Jesse Driftwood. I don't know if you're familiar with him. Do you know Jesse?
Yeah.
So Jesse's a YouTuber, and he was one, man. He used to do these videos, I mean, he did Instagram Reels back before they like could be saved, or stories, Instagram stories before they could be saved. It would disappear in 24 hours, and he would invest so much time and effort into the sound design of these videos, and then they'd disappear, you know. But like he would take, I remember like his daughter laughing, and he would use that throughout the video into the music almost. Like you'd hear it once and then you'd hear it like again and again into the music. Do you see, first of all, are you doing some of that? Like are you really careful about the tone or the pitch that something's at? And then also following the rhythm, or is that stuff like that's sort of more advanced than where you're at?
No, that's very much so. We were
And we're laughing.
we
'cause
had this
something
one
yesterday.
Oh
That's
my gosh.
awesome.
Yeah.
We're like counting beats. We're like, all right, it needs to be on the 2 and the 4, not the 1 and 3. We're just like making these cuts, making these actions on these beats. But yeah, I like to get pretty intentional about it. Even though I know it's like probably little details people are gonna listen on their phone speaker and not even pick up. But
I think it's what the difference is it's what people feel,
Right,
Not what they
100%,
know. It's
right.
what they feel. You know,
I feel like with sound design, if you're aware of it, it's almost like not great.
Right.
It's like if you don't even think about it, that's when you have like
but it
sound design.
does something in that back
Right.
part of the
It's
brain,
mental.
and it's like this is the best thing I've ever seen, and they don't even know why, because it has
100%.
nothing to do with what they've seen. It's what they heard and what sort of emotion
how it makes them
evoked.
feel.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. Well, props to you on that, man. The music background is something I'm really jealous of, because I can't carry a tune. I can't play an instrument. I learned 3 chords on a guitar when I was 16 years old.
That's all you need.
That's all I've got, and I don't have any rhythm to go with it. So it's really bad. But people like Cole Peavy, who's a good friend of mine, he was one that really showed me like how music and the understanding of music can so enhance a video. So props on that. And I don't know. Do you have that kind of skill as well, or do you really lean on him now?
He's
for
getting
that?
there. He's getting there.
You're teaching
He's
him.
definitely better than me.
Yeah. The sensei becomes the student.
Yeah. No, we're definitely learning from each other, which is good. I mean, I think that's a good partnership. But I have a little bit of, not to his extent, like I can't sing or anything, but like I grew up.
I think
like,
we should test that real quick.
No, we shouldn't. We should not test that.
Y'all got some reverb on these mics?
Yeah, we can throw like a voice
Some
alteration.
auto-tune.
All right, guys, I'm out. It's been nice being here.
Auto tune.
I grew up like taking piano lessons, and I took some guitar lessons and stuff. But I was a drummer, actually. I played a lot of drums growing up through like middle school and high school, and then kind of haven't really done much with that since then. But I still like love music and think about music a lot, and envision a future where I get back into music in some capacity.
I think music is a big part of our creative process. Like whenever we're working, there's always music going.
That's
yeah,
cool.
definitely.
He's the DJ. He's the curator.
Yeah.
I will just be sitting over there listening to like DJ sets. That's my thing.
All right, give me like a recent song that he brought in. Maybe something people wouldn't expect that he would bring in. Are we
Not
talking
really a
like some
song,
Taylor
it's
Swift?
It's an
or-
artist. This one DJ artist who she like streams all her sets on YouTube. Lika, did I say it? Oh,
Yeah,
she's
Lika.
phenomenal.
Look up Lika.
If y'all
on
need some good
YouTube.
like editing tunes, I don't
Okay.
know about editing video, but editing some photos, like throw on a Lika set.
Lika. Some kind of European girl, and she just like records her videos like in her house or like at a coffee shop wherever she's playing her little DJ sets, and it's really good.
The
work
Lumen
too, actually.
soundtrack.
Yeah, actually.
Yeah, nice. Okay, all right. Well, that's. It's really neat to hear sort of your journey, getting to know you, and now how the two of y'all. Your video production background. I know we didn't really talk about it here as much. There may be time for that still, but just the fact that the two of y'all found each other and your backgrounds are meshing the way they are and complementing each other is really cool. So I love to see coworkers that really build a team and ultimately make the product better, which is actually what we're talking about next is teamwork. How's that gone as far as like balancing the amount of work? I mean, it could be that one person feels like they're carrying the weight and the other one's not, or it could it could come down to dollars and cents. Like, hey, this person's making more, or maybe they're making the exact same, and is that really fair? what's that been like as far as like having that team, building that team, and then coming to agreements on how it's going to practically pay off?
I like that you use the word team. We both come from an athletic background. We're both athletes. So I feel like using that mindset of just like being mentally tough and putting in hard work. Like we both were at a shoot all day yesterday, and then we go home and we're both like working till like 1 a.m. Yeah. I definitely don't feel like anybody's like doing more than the other. It's I don't know, we're kind of just like hungry to like
Yeah.
to get after it and to learn, and we're really enjoying the like the process. Like it's not about the destination, it's about the journey. Like that's super cliche and corny, but we're having like every day is just so much fun growing, like coming across new problems. It's a new challenge.
Yeah.
And so yeah, really we just being a team. Like we're always like texting like, bro, we make such a good team. We're a duo, bro. Like,
We are. I'm like sitting in Taziki's yesterday eating lunch, like trying not to tear up. Like, man, this is so great. I'm so glad that like we found each other. Like that sounds crazy.
I was like, save it for
You know
the
what I mean?
podcast.
Like,
Save it for the podcast.
No,
he did say that. He said, "Save it for the podcast."
I appreciate that. I appreciate you looking out for me. It's not weird at all, because I think anyone who's worked that closely with another person, my person that I worked like that with, I've already mentioned him, is Cole Peavy. Cole and I we just spent so much time together. You can't help but either hate each other or love each other at that point. Not to mention you're living life together. Mm-hmm. When one person hurts, the other one feels it. When one person has something to celebrate, the other person feels it. And the longer you do that, I think Cole and I worked together 3 or 4 years. And still, like, I just got off the phone with him earlier this morning. Like he's anytime I've got something to celebrate, he's one of the first people that I call outside of my wife.
That's awesome.
And then whenever I've got something hard that we've gone through, he's also one of the first people that I call. So it's really exciting to see this like brotherhood kind of build between y'all, and even getting emotional about it. Totally understand, man. Probably the person that's seen me cry more than anybody is my wife, and then Cole. And that wasn't even that long ago, so that may say more about me. But
No, that's awesome.
No, I was literally sitting there yesterday, like, all right, I've got to look this way when I say this.
yeah. But it's really cool whenever you find the right person, and like you said, the energy that you're both putting into it, like that makes such a big difference when, when you see each other as equals, I think is a big thing too. It's like not that, I've worked with students before. Students are usually not. There's got to be a little bit of a hierarchy there, because one person is teaching the other and the other one is sort of learning. But when there's this teamwork, it's like you're both teaching each other. Mm-hmm. You have that complementary skill set where it's just sort of building something incredible that just by yourself you couldn't have done.
I'm really glad you said that, actually, because this would not be anything that it is had I not met you. To be honest,
it's building up. You see him, man. You've seen.
I got to a point where I could do the photos and I can get that process done like all day, every day, and I can shoot the videos.
Yeah.
But your specific background with social content and editing those style videos and knowing just
enough brain rot.
Yeah, you've doom scrolled way more than me, and it shows in a good way.
Yeah.
No, like he does stuff that I just flat out am not equipped to do. Yeah. And that is what has made us such a good team. And along the way, like I've been trying to just share and teach kind of lately I've been almost throwing you in the fire a little bit, like
been having some growing pains recently, but it's good. We're learning.
Let him make some mistakes, which is the easiest way to learn, and been teaching him a lot from like the shooting perspective. And I wouldn't say that I'm a better shooter than you. I just have more time.
Yeah.
That's it.
Well, I've always told people, if you want to learn how to be a better shooter, do it and then edit it.
So true.
Too many times people that start shooting, especially whenever they start shooting with somebody else as like a second shooter, so many times they don't get behind the computer and actually see the
100%.
mistakes they
You
make.
got to watch
Yeah.
film.
Yeah.
You got to watch
Yeah.
film if you want to get better.
Listen to him. That's going back to his wrestling days.
It
I
is.
think.
That too.
How many times have you sat and broke down film of wrestling? Either somebody that you're about to wrestle or yourself of a past
Oh, yeah.
wrestling.
A lot of times.
Yeah, yeah. Film's important, man. But also
It
in
is.
anything, I think that's a probably experience that really translates well to what you do now.
100%. 100%.
One other thing that I'd say about the teamwork, the creative industry can feel like you're on an island a lot. I mean, so much time you're behind a computer, so much time you're just by yourself, headphones locked into an edit. And if you carry that into shooting too, then even more so, you just feel isolated and alone. And so it's really great to have just that camaraderie, that friendship, that support, but then also just knowing somebody else is carrying the burden with you. So congratulations on finding each other.
Yeah, it's been awesome. It's been really cool.
It's really a beautiful relationship.
Honestly,
I
it
imagine
is.
your
a beautiful
girlfriends
thing.
are quite jealous right now. Of
Oh,
it.
it's so funny. I'll
if
be
you only knew.
texting. I'll be over here texting him. She's like, "What are you grinning at your phone for?"
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, "I'm texting Jacob."
Yeah.
We're just excited.
Yeah. Hey,
Sorry.
I guarantee you plenty of other people out there that have had a similar team can understand.
Well, we're even kind of getting the girlfriends roped into it a little bit. We went to a dinner like 2 weekends ago and brought them along. Well, actually, funny story.
Yeah, we got to rewind a little bit.
Yeah, we had to trick our girlfriends into meeting each other because they're both very similar. They both like, they're.
A little more introverted.
I don't want to get in trouble.
That's
I
an
get it.
adjective.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Basically, like they just maybe a touch overthink like getting out and maybe meeting a new person.
Yeah.
Which is fine.
I get it.
Yeah,
I get it.
I'm not saying that
I would
as a
say
bad
my
thing.
My wife is the same way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we both told them that we bought hockey tickets together to go see the Birmingham Bulls, right? And we each told them like, "Hey, we're going on a date tonight."
Didn't tell them about the
We
other.
didn't tell.
And then we show up and we're sitting next to each other. Oh man, the looks on their faces. It was so funny.
So I mean, they know now that
Yeah, they know
it was
now.
like
Oh.
strategy, right? So
Oh,
you're
yeah.
not like
the
letting out
first
your
5
secrets.
minutes, we were always like, watch out.
yeah, we were both looking at each other like we might have messed up.
We messed up. But then no, they started talking, and they're similar. They have so much in common, just like we do.
Yeah.
But it was a blast. Yeah, the other night we grabbed dinner in, like El Barrio. We like shut the place down. Like we were just there talking. And just
We were
having
there
a
for
good
like
time.
5 hours.
That's awesome.
And like we didn't even realize it. Like they were like cleaning all the tables. We're like, oh, we should probably go. And then we went and stood in the parking lot for another hour.
Yeah.
So the camaraderie is there, and the
little
girlfriends
community.
friendships, good friendships.
the
That's right.
girlfriends approve. I think
Nice. Good. They probably still get tired of you texting each other.
Oh, 100%.
they definitely do.
Yeah.
Hey guys, let me take just a moment to thank our sponsor, AmFirst. AmFirst for the past 90 years has been instrumental in supporting families and small businesses right here in Birmingham and beyond. I really am thankful to have such an incredible partner in sharing the stories of Birmingham area creatives, as well as just supporting the Birmingham communities in general. Thank you so much to our sponsor, and thank you to you, our audience, for watching, for liking, for sharing. It really does mean a lot, and I really couldn't do this without your encouragement. And now I'm so thankful to be able to do this with the support that we're receiving from AmFirst. So thank you so much, AmFirst, and now back to our conversation.
Who are you texting over there?
All right, let's talk about this. Talent versus hard work. And I say that because, especially Jacob, with you changing sort of industry a little bit. I mean, going from more of that freelancer. A lot of people look at creatives in general, I think, when they've had the time to really develop their skills, and they're like, man, he or she is so talented. And they almost discredit by saying that the years that you put into something. Mm-hmm. And so I feel like with this change of industry, I feel like you started over a little bit.
Yeah.
And so that hard work really had to kick back in for you to learn new skills, develop a business, tackle sort of marketing in a new way, again, people are going to look at y'all and say, man, they're so talented. Do you feel like that at all discredits the hard work? And then maybe even talk about how important is the hard work over the talent, maybe, if there is any kind of natural talent.
I'll say that, like, I definitely feel like I've always had, like, some just baseline creative talent in my life. I don't personally see myself as, like, a big, like, creative also. I say that, but I probably am. You know what I mean?
I've said the same thing.
Yeah.
I've said multiple times, I am not creative. I do creative work, but
Yeah.
I'm not creative.
I feel like a creative, like, in problem solving.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I originally, when I went to college, the major I declared was, like, some kind of engineering. Like,
Yeah.
I had, like, a math brain. I loved math in high school. Like,
Yeah.
that kind of, like, finding
He beat up people like you in school. I'm kidding. I'm
yeah,
kidding.
because I was
A
a
jock.
because I was a skinny little.
I was in
runner
show
boy.
choir. I was not a child.
I was a cross country runner. I weighed like 0 pounds.
Yeah.
He could have beat me up real easy. Still can. No, but it's this is a funny question because, like, to be honest, I think one of my biggest struggles that I faced probably my whole life, especially in my career, is like letting like talent carry me versus
Okay.
putting in hard work.
Yeah.
I am like can notoriously procrastinate or be a little lazy or try to like find the easiest way to do something rather than just bull through it and get it done.
There are aspects of the creative industry that allow for that.
Yeah.
You know, just I think some of us are drawn to the creative work because we are more inclined to be that way at times.
Yes.
Definitely.
But what I was even telling you yesterday is like this and what we've developed here and working with you every day and facing these problems and everything has given me that drive that I feel like I've been looking for about 10 years, to be honest.
It makes such a big difference when you enjoy the hard work.
Yes.
You know? But talk about what kind of hard work have y'all faced? Where has been the real learning curve that y'all have sort of faced with? Because when you shift the gears, so to speak, like you did, where you were freelance doing all types of work. I mean, you and I shot some stuff together, actually in line with some of this,
Yeah, we did.
right? Just before you started the company. But when you made that shift, like where were the learning curves? Where was the I guess discomfort that you had to overcome?
I was a Sony shooter. I had to learn Canon.
That's
doing
that.
great.
Talk about a downgrade. Talk about stepping back.
I do. Okay, so I was on an
about that.
A7 III. It was quite the upgrade to move to an R5. I'm not gonna lie.
Definitely. Yeah.
Um,
The A7 III was a great camera when it came out.
100%.
Now it definitely feels outdated. I've
Little
still
dated.
I've got a A7C, the first gen,
Nice.
which is basically the A7 III. And when I have to pick it up versus my A7C Mark IIs or my FX3, it's like that's stepping back.
Yeah, I couldn't even shoot. It was like only 30 frames per second in 4K. I didn't have 60. I was like, And shooting sports, I was like, man, like kind of need that. But
Oh yeah. No, you said the R5 is what you've got now. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a great camera.
It's
I mean,
phenomenal.
Canon really has always been one of the leaders, if not the leader, for the longest time, and still their cameras are incredible. So
Their color science.
their colors really are. I mean, that's probably the main reason that I would say, especially for video. That's where Canon's always had a leg up is the colors. So they've always looked incredible. So I can talk good about Canon.
Hey, I actually, funny you say that. I bought an A7 III like when it came out.
Yeah.
And was experimenting with swapping to Sony. And I ended up just not.
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't like it as much as I had like a 1DX Mark II at the time. Yeah. And obviously those are like two completely different cameras you're comparing there.
Well, and that's what I wanted. Whenever I bought my Sony, the A7 III, I wanted the 1DX. I couldn't afford the 1DX. I had a $2,000 budget, and I was about to get the 6D Mark II. It had just come out.
That's a good camera too.
And then I
actually.
was like, wait a minute, what is this Sony everybody's talking about?
Yeah.
And to me, it checked a lot of the boxes that the 1DX had. It had the 120, 1080, 120, but that uncropped. But
Yeah.
that was one of the things I really wanted. You know, at the time I was watching Peter McKinnon all the time. So basically,
When you said 120, that's the first thing I thought of was Peter McKinnon.
Everybody was like that back
Yeah.
then. It was like, I got to get a 1DX so I could be like Peter McKinnon.
Shout out to you, Peter, if you're watching.
Oh, he's
love
not.
you, man. You taught me a lot.
Oh, I agree. Peter McKinnon, Jesse Driftwood,
Casey Neistat.
Yeah, I was gonna say Casey Neistat, Sam Coulter.
I did get to interview Make Art Now. Did you see that? Josh Yo.
Yeah, I did watch that episode.
Yeah,
actually.
that was like, oh my gosh! I actually
No.
messaged back and forth with Jesse Driftwood.
That's cool.
And
pretty cool.
I think we had some conflict of schedule, and I just haven't reached back out. I reached back initially, and then didn't hear anything, and then I haven't followed up since. But I've had conversations with Jesse Driftwood, which is
You're gonna get there.
incredible. Oh man, if I could talk with him, I mean, Josh Yo, I'm sure I did horrible. I know I did horrible as far as interviewing him, and there were like technical difficulties. But to me, it's like I'll always love that video just because it was my chance to talk to him. So
No,
so cool.
that was cool. When I saw that, I was like, oh my gosh, I follow this guy. I like watch
Yeah.
all his stuff. Like, that's
yeah.
crazy.
For him with the A7 III, he was a game changer for that because he talked about just the pushing that thing to new levels, what you could possibly achieve with that, especially with like the color kind of flexibility, I think, and stuff. So anyway, that's a whole nother podcast we could talk.
Yeah.
through. That's going to be, we can sort of, what do you call that whenever you're like, the kids call it glazing now.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so we just glaze all the YouTubers that we followed.
Before we move on, I do want to.
Yeah.
There was a thought I had about this talent versus
Okay.
hard work bit. Now it just left me, but it's going to come back. I know it's right there. We're going to pause for 1 second, guys.
I got you while you're paused. So I'm gonna talk about wrestling again. At tournaments, they used to have this shirt on the back. Everyone get it after you win the tournament. It says, "Hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard." So
Every day, man.
Boom, right there.
Every day. And especially my son he's the smallest one on the football team, one of the smallest ones. Wrestling, he's definitely small, which wrestling, it that can be an advantage.
Right, 100%.
But he is one of the hardest workers. He loves, matter of fact, he got thrown one time in this match. I mean, thrown.
Been there.
And he popped up with the biggest smile on his face. And he went up to the kid and he was like, dude, that was awesome.
He's a dude, nice
Like,
throw,
do it
man.
again.
Yeah, I've definitely been.
Yeah, that was, and I don't know, it makes me proud to see I was not that tough of a kid. I would have probably been like, oh, you hurt me, but he really is a tough kid. But I agree with you. He starts on football not because he's the most talented, not because he's the biggest kid out there, because he works hard, And so
It's so important.
Although his mom worries that hard work's going to get him hurt, but he's a tough kid. So
That's awesome.
what were you? Did
I
you
did
remember?
remember.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
No, you were asking like what some of the challenges that we face and like
Yeah.
some of the hard work we've had to put in. I feel like for both of us, I would say learning the industry that we're actually working in has been a
Yeah,
huge
oh my
hurdle.
gosh.
Like at
like,
first
what's
I
a
was like,
brokerage?
hey, we take these pretty beautiful photos.
Yeah.
That should be it, right? No. Learning what your audience or like your target market like actually needs and wants and understanding that is just from, like running the bit, like transitioning from just being like, hey, I'm the guy that shows up and can take your photos or take your video
Yeah.
and give the footage or maybe edit the piece and then send it to you, kind of being that freelancer to
well, you were serving the creatives,
Right.
Now you're serving an industry, like actual business owners on that end.
so that's why like personally like transitioning from feeling like I'm just a guy with a camera, a shooter, right?
Right.
Or an editor, just freelance media guy to like running a business and all the like, man, I feel like sometimes it may look like to you that like you may be sometimes like I'm doing everything or something when you're like editing and like
No, he's
sending you
doing
out
all
to
this
shoots and
stuff
stuff.
that I can't.
I'm like sitting there working on like the back end of our website and our whole like booking flow and everything, and trying to like understand where we are and get our price points right. Cause that's a weird thing about real estate.
Maybe we need to do a podcast on that stuff.
Oh, we should show you.
Put it behind the paywall.
I need to. I don't know if you've looked through it, but we need to show you our like client portal thing.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so cool. Our website does not. The website's about to get a facelift to match how cool that is, basically.
Nice.
But-
Yeah. I think that's the hardest part. Like for me, I stepped out January of 2025 from a full-time business or full-time company or school system job to starting my own company. And that's been the hardest thing, is just learning how do you invoice? How do you make sure they pay you on time? How do you budget for this stuff? How do you deal with going out and shooting all day and missing emails while you're doing that?
No, actually.
Because now you got to catch up on all this stuff. And by the way, you have a family. You know, it's like you got this other
Slightly
life you gotta
panicked
do.
that I'm on Do Not Disturb right now.
It's been one of the most stressful, difficult things. But at the same time, I also think financially speaking, it's one of the most rewarding things. And also, I think there's this sense of pride and just accomplishment that you get. I mean, even having this space that I've got, that was a huge accomplishment. I feel a lot of pride in it, but at the same time, I'm like, oh my gosh, I got to pay for all this stuff. You know,
Yeah.
It's like,
All right, now we got to keep it up.
yeah, exactly.
That's how I felt when I brought you along. I'm like, all right, it's not just making sure I get my bills paid anymore. Now we got to make sure he gets his bills paid too. You know what I
Yes.
mean? Like, which I think is good. I think it gives me more drive and more like, hey, you got to wake up every day and bring it every single day.
Agreed. It definitely pushes you. That fear, that anxiety, that stress pushes you to figure it out.
Right.
So
And
and
yeah, I
again,
think- I
ties
definitely
back
think,
to the
like,
hard work.
Pressure is a privilege, you know? Like, it's all about, like, how you view it.
There was somebody I talked with. I'm trying to remember who it was right now on a recent podcast. I don't remember who it was, but they made the statement. I think it was Mason Irwin. Do you know Mason?
Yeah. I've never actually met Mason, if you're watching this, Mason. But,
He's such an incredible.
I have followed you for years.
Yeah, he's such an incredible photographer. He's actually traveling with me in a couple of weeks for a client corporate retreat. He's going to be doing photos for me there, so I'm really excited to hang out with him in that kind of context. But I think he stated that it's such a blessing to. I don't remember exactly how I said it, but basically it's a blessing to be stressed by by the thing that you dreamed of, you know, or hoped for.
Yeah.
You know, and we really are. We're doing creative work. I mean, I don't know if y'all were like this. I was like, oh, how incredible would it be to own my own business, to do my own thing? And then I thought that'll never be able to happen because of just the practical situation that I was in. And now here I am doing it, what I dreamed of, what I thought I would never be able to accomplish. So it is very much of a blessing to even have that pressure and that stress.
Right.
But it's tough still too.
It's tough, 100%.
The thing that like I have to remind myself of often is to keep that like perspective of when I first decided that I didn't want to go get just like a 9-to-5 kind of job.
Yeah.
Like that version of me looking at me now would be so proud of me. And it's easy to forget that when you're in the moment and you're stressed out and you feel like you're behind.
Yeah.
Like just being able to look back and be like, okay, no, me that was graduating college would be like, no, this is so cool. So why am I so worried? Why do I feel so behind right now? Like I'm doing something cool. I'm having fun every day now. Like just, I don't know. I should be more proud of myself.
We need to look back. We need to look
Yes.
back. I would say look back at your old work you did. Look back at the situation that you were in and what you hoped for. Look back as often as you can, especially whenever those really stressful, really sort of almost just that weight, when you feel that weight of what you're doing now, or even that boredom at times, like what you were talking about earlier, you were sort of just bored with the work you
Yeah.
were doing. When you feel that, look back, look back and be reminded. And hopefully that'll give you a little bit of that joy, if not a lot of that joy back. So,
Definitely.
all right, let's keep moving along here. Trends and creativity, and this is something that y'all are. Your social content is definitely. I would say a combination of trendy. There's times, I mean, I think of that first one right there with the sock, that when that was a trend that was going on. But then also I feel like there's times where at least I don't know of the trend that you're following. It seems like just a really creative way to communicate, sort of like this idea of the, people giving so much credit to the camera, right? Versus the hard work behind the camera. What kind of balance are y'all trying to strike there with, there is such a thing as like going too far with trends. There is such a thing as not leaning into those trends in some way to at least benefit your business. How do you feel about the trends versus, and creativity?
This may be more your expertise. He's the
He's
he is the
social-
driving force behind the social content.
I see
I just
you
happen to
on-
be the subject.
I was about to say you're on camera all the time.
I'm the actor. That's it.
Yeah. He's the buffoon in front of the camera.
Yeah. And
I've got the notes with just a bunch of ideas, and like, all right, we're shooting this one today.
if you think those are good, we got 3 that are scheduled for the next few weeks that are probably the best we've done yet.
Really?
I think.
Does it lean into more of the comical kind of stuff?
100%.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's like no shame in like just going as almost absurd as possible, or are we just like, what's the goal? What's the line you're drawing in the sand? Where are you not going to cross?
I will not start doing TikTok dances.
Oh, come on.
Maybe
maybe,
he
actually,
doesn't
I don't
know it. We're gonna get him to do it, but no, I think just trying to make an engaging piece of social media content. I mean, our business is helping realtors with their social content, and so we want to be as experienced in that as we can. And so, yeah, early on we were just doing a lot of trends just because, like, what do we even post? Like, what are we gonna do?
Yeah.
And so we just looked at like, oh, well, we like this piece of content. Well, we can do the exact same thing, just it's with us and it's our take on it.
Put a spin on it that
little
is
spin on
relevant
it.
to our audience.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what.
And yeah, that's really kind of helped us like get the juices flowing and kind of allow us to discover like our style, like how we like to shoot, how we like to edit, what kind of like music we like.
That's a really good point. The idea of like when you're starting out, find a trend, copy the trend, repeat.
100%.
Repeat.
Steal like an artist. Yeah.
But then eventually you start figuring out, what about this? We
Right.
did this before. What if we changed it up this way? And now suddenly that creativity is really sort of getting involved in it rather than just simply copying what you've seen.
100%.
Yeah.
But it's been fun. I mean, we work with a guy who calls reels. He calls them skinny videos because he does a lot of long form.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I kind of like using that. It's just a skinny video. It's a fun little video I'm making. It's easy to get stressed out. Like, oh, what frame rate am I in? Like, is log? Like, what are we shooting in? But with these, it's very low pressure. It's like, I'm just having fun. I'm making a fun little video.
Yeah.
We're
And
shooting
it's
most of these on our phone. Like
literally, like,
yeah.
the barrier to entry is low. I'm editing on my phone and just really trying to max the fun and just like minimize all the pressure.
Well, like I said earlier, that juxtaposition between the two of y'all in person and some of your social content versus your product and your like company brand and sort of that luxury that's sort of associated with that. How have your clients really received this kind of stuff from y'all?
I think they like it. Like, I don't know. People, going back to you saying the thing about people, if the people enjoy working with you, they'll keep working with you. If they don't enjoy working with you, your work could be amazing and they won't work with you.
They're going to find
Right.
somebody else.
I think that is like that's like one of the number one things that we like harp on. Like, you're going to enjoy working with us. You're going to get a quality product, and it's going to be a simple process for you.
Yeah.
And there's like no stress. It's, of course, I say there's no stress, and I just think of like the stressful moments we have that just floods my brain.
No stress.
No stress. And I'm like, except for that one time that one thing happened.
Don't cortisol spike, bro.
I need to take a breather for a minute. Whew. Anyway, no, and I think that this has been really well received. Like, we'll have some agents that are like, just like, I don't know, it just even like, there are a couple agents that'll like comment just like a couple laughing face emojis on it, and I'm like,
Yeah.
yes, like they resonate with it. If they watched it, they're like, yeah, okay, those guys are fun and funny. Like, that's really all we're going for. We're selling our product, but we're also selling the experience of working with us just as much.
And that's what I feel like these do more than anything. It really does give, I mean, like you said, these people, if they haven't ever done this kind of stuff before, they're nervous already,
100%.
and
Oh,
they
yeah.
don't know. Like, I mean, they could bring in a plethora of people that do this kind of work relatively. I mean, we talked about how so many people start off in this kind of industry, and so you can always find somebody. Oftentimes, the price is relatively flexible. You know, you can always find somebody cheaper. You know, but it's about who's going to make me feel comfortable, who's going to be enjoyable, and make the process just not self punishment. You know, and I think this kind of content definitely does that, with also showing some of your actual product and the quality that it is. So I think it's a great idea. I think y'all are taking your work serious. And I said this the other day yesterday on a podcast, actually. You're taking your work serious, but you're not taking yourselves too seriously. So props on that.
That's what we're going for.
Yeah, 100%.
I just want people to show up and just have a good time. Like, we worked with an agent a few weeks ago, and when she booked, she was like, "Hey, I'm like, what's the word? Like, basically just nervous about being on camera."
Yeah.
She's like, "I booked a video with
She'd
some
done
other
a video before, and she hated the way her voice sounded. It was like all robotic, and she was just like very like self-conscious about being on camera.
Yeah.
There's that train."
Oh yeah,
There we go.
yeah. The trains will come. Honestly, because there's two tracks
Oh my
right
gosh,
here.
yeah.
You'll have them on like at the same time, and my air conditioner pump will kick on sometimes, and it's like, oh my gosh.
And she's like, "All right,
Good
well,
sound
let's scrap
design
the
right
shoot
there.
right
It's
there."
good ambiance.
No, I just keep going, plow through it.
So this agent we were working with, she was super nervous, and we could tell, and she told us that up front, and I was like, "Hey, look, just come work with us. We're gonna, like, this is where truly I feel like this is one of our biggest like differentiators, is that just our experience with being able to make people feel comfortable, feel confident. Like, you don't get that with just any real estate media, because like you said, I mean, like, a lot of real estate media can be people who are just starting out, or people who don't have like the industry experience that we do.
Yeah.
And I feel like being able to, not run from real estate, but then come back and try to like reinvent it and find wedge ourselves into a spot of created value for some of these agents who, like, to be honest, we'll work with anybody, but we price ourselves at a little bit of a premium, and we're looking for the agents who are like, want to take this really seriously and market themselves. So this one agent that, she was just like, "Okay, I've heard good things about you guys. I want to give this a try and see how it goes." And this is like one of my favorite things that happened. We shot that whole video with her, and you could just see her like coming out of her shell and smiling and have fun. And like 10 minutes after she left the shoot, she said, "Thank you so much for today. I had a ton of fun. Like, it was a great day. Like, thank you." And I was like, that just simple little compliment from someone who was so nervous coming into it. And you could tell how nervous she was the first few takes, to just seeing her laugh and smile and then get a text like that was like, that really was a big moment where I was like, okay, we've got something really good. We've got a really good product. And it just makes me excited, man.
People skills, I think, are the biggest asset in work like this, especially,
Yeah.
I mean, editors, if you're just strictly wanting to edit, you can lock yourself in a room and you never see people, and for some people, that's what they want, and that's what energizes them. I'm one of those that gets energized by interactions. I think if you can be a little, and we've already talked, evidently you cry at times. I'm an emotional person. I think he's a stone wall stoic over there.
I'm
kidding.
I cry.
I'm kidding. But like, I think being a little more, maybe not, I don't know if it's sensitive, but sensitive to emotions, I think is also something that's really helpful in this type of industry, because you can sympathize with people, and you can like feel what they're feeling, and then not necessarily manipulate it, but then use your experience to maybe help direct their emotions and the way they're feeling.
I mean, we sell emotion and feeling and connection. That's another thing that we really
Right. It's
harp
more
on.
than just like taking a video of the house. It's like, how do you want like this buyer to feel when they're in the house?
Yeah.
And so
And-
that's where like sound design and like color and all this comes in.
And beyond that, like, I think we've been preaching lately is like, hey, you may shoot one of these videos and you may not see like the best result from it, but like that consistency of doing it over and over again, people are going to just associate you with this feeling that they have. And when it does come time for them to buy or sell or something, they'll remember you.
Yeah.
And that's more important than this one video selling your house. You know what I mean?
Yeah. How difficult is it for you to maintain consistency in this type of stuff?
Well, I mean, we put a lot of pressure on ourselves, I would say. At first, I feel like we were really struggling at first I mean, first of all, we haven't missed we do like a Tuesday video and a Thursday like carousel kind of thing. And we haven't missed one since we've started, you know.
Are y'all predominantly on Instagram, or do y'all post across platforms?
Right now we are on Instagram, Facebook, and we've started posting all these as YouTube shorts as well. But we don't have a TikTok or
That
anything.
YouTube is coming soon. We'll start the long form journey.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we want to do some of that.
Yeah. I primarily do Instagram and YouTube. I feel like I'm missing an opportunity more on Facebook. I really probably need to carry it over there as well, more so.
We don't have a big following on Facebook, but we also haven't like really. We've just been like posting, and a lot of this has just been like word of mouth. Like we haven't. To be honest, I've been wanting to get like all the back end stuff and get our processes down and everything.
Yeah.
We haven't truly started like advertising ourselves yet, and I think that's going to be the next step.
Well, you got to have that catalog for people to be able to go to at
Exactly.
some point. So yeah, you don't want them to go and you have one post,
100%.
you know,
Right.
because you just started your company. So
No, yeah, I want people to get on our page and be like, "Oh, these guys are
Watch some skits or something.
about this. Oh, they have fun. Oh, their work is good. Huh? I should message them." Like, I feel like that's already happened some, and we haven't even really been like seeking that out yet. We've just been like laying the foundation for that.
All the funnels.
there you go.
But back to this, like at first I felt like we were really struggling to come up with ideas and figure it out, and then like it just kind of goes in like waves. Like we hit a little point where some of these earlier ones we were like just finding trends and doing them, and then like we would get like 2 or 3 weeks ahead, and then we'd get to where like there were probably about a month in a row where it's Monday and I'm like, we have to have a video that goes out Tuesday morning. What are we going to do?
Yeah.
And we did that. And then we'll hit a wave like we did this past weekend. We went and shot and got, I think a whole month of content done in like a few hours.
Yeah.
One
And
shoot
it just hit. We just knew exactly and then we watched them all back and we're like, oh yeah, like we're getting better at this.
It's painful when you've got a deadline you've set for yourself, or maybe you've got a deadline that's set for you, and you haven't shot anything yet, and
Yeah.
it's like the
gosh,
day
yeah.
before. Yeah, it's I used to have like this big collection of podcasts that I'd already recorded. Like at one point, I think I had like 17 of them in the bank, you know, ready to like trickle
Post,
out.
yeah.
And then with season 2, I started doing more in person. It was like, oh my gosh, like I got to have one. What am I going to do next week? You know, it's
Yeah.
like it's that self-imposed pressure, or sometimes maybe it's external pressure. But yeah, y'all's stuff looks great. I think it's fun. I think it accomplishes the goals that we've talked about. Those making y'all very approachable, very comfortable to be around, but then also. Some of them especially really highlight the quality of work you're doing. So
Thank you.
props.
There's one more thing I want to say about this
Go
too.
for
Is
it.
it's not always doesn't always turn out well. Like we'll do some. There
I
was.
want to see some of those that ended up on the floor of the editing room.
I mean, some of them are posted.
Oh, really?
They're
Some of the
not
bad
that great. Like they were just like, we just have to have something, and that is what I think is the most important thing. That I've always been like a perfectionist, and I will.
Right.
I've got pictures that are great
Yeah.
from a Europe trip we took last year that I haven't posted on my own page. I don't know why.
Yeah.
But like this, like realizing that consistency is more important than perfection and just getting something out is better. Like people value I feel like that we are they all flooding the page with stuff, having that catalog. Like you can I think of going to anybody's Instagram page or anybody's YouTube page. And like even going back to music, you can listen to an album and there's songs you don't like on it. You know what I mean? There's songs that are complete flops, but if they have a hit, people remember that.
Yeah.
And getting on someone's page, you're not going to love every piece of content, but I think having it there instead of being afraid to post it because you were afraid that it wasn't going to do well is just, I don't know, it's an important lesson to remember.
I also think showing growth and showing the struggle to some degree is good too. I mean, it's not like you're posting it and saying, sorry for this one, it's terrible, but you know, you're not doing that.
Right.
But for people to get on there and just see the variety of like quality as well as the growth, I think is really important for people to see. So especially other creatives.
I don't want to be afraid to try things and take risks too. So like, hey, we may post something, it may be a flop.
Yeah.
We may post something, it may make you laugh, and that's good.
Like today, you were like, I think we should try this podcast. You know, I mean,
Yeah,
it might
we
be
should
a
just
flop.
see.
It's probably going to be a flop.
we're gonna have some clips from this for sure.
Oh no, this is great.
we're just
This is gonna make it on the Instagram
Nice.
collab post.
Maybe y'all's YouTube, right?
Uh-oh.
So
Where did you find all of this? Is this like on your Instagram and I've just never scrolled that far?
I think it's on his Facebook, actually. At least. Well, the kid one is. I think
That's
the kid one's on his
hilarious.
Facebook.
this is really good.
I was a bad kid, man. Look
Were
at me.
you really? I find that hard to believe. I find that hard to believe. Well, so feel free to touch on any of these photos if you want to. You can feel free to explain anything that you feel like needs explanation. But the question is what's next for y'all? Where are you taking this? What's the next step in the journey? And this is, I know the photos focus on you, but obviously, like, this is for the company in
This is
general.
good.
Either one of you. You
I've
like
never,
that?
I've never seen
The one
especially
on
that
the
bottom one.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, yeah. The bottom one. I mean, how old are you there? Like, do you know? Do you even know?
It's got to be like 4 or 5.
Yeah, yeah.
I think we were still in
Diapers.
Opelika.
In Opelika. Yeah.
He also could have been like 12 because he looks way younger than he actually is.
Yeah.
Okay. Agreed. Agreed. I think that's a little younger than 12. But what's next for you? Well, no. Let's talk about this this middle one.
I dropped my
of all,
load.
first of all, your Instagram handle. Post boy.
Yeah.
Got that boy.
Boy.
What?
Boy.
Little southern accent.
Boy.
Little dirty south.
Is that what that is? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
You better post, boy.
Yeah, yeah, I like it. That's so he's been telling you that even before y'all started this thing.
It's
man.
been subliminal messaging. He actually made this
Definitely.
with me in mind, and I didn't even know it.
That's right.
His whole Instagram, his whole
Yeah.
life has been.
No, I actually did follow him for a while because he had done some work with one of my music friends. And I was like, dude, his stuff is awesome. And then he's like, didn't follow me back until I met him. And he was like, oh, yeah, I should follow you. I was like,
I didn't know who he was.
cool.
What am I supposed
Yeah,
to do?
because he's like, who's post boy?
Yeah.
But
I didn't know.
So you didn't even respond to him?
Oh, I don't think he like messaged me.
Oh,
I
you
didn't
didn't?
message him. I
Okay.
just
No,
I just
okay.
followed him. I just
Yeah,
liked his
yeah.
work.
Okay.
But
I
he was
got
like,
you.
who's this random guy?
Yeah. Well, I think you have fun with some of your social content, and you
Definitely.
were a cute but probably problematic child.
Yeah. I thought I was Batman. I'd get in trouble for like punching my friends. So
You know,
No, 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 no,
that
no.
just prepared you for wrestling.
That's right,
And you
that's
were trying
right.
to prepare them for wrestling.
that's
too.
right. That's right.
So
you know?
yeah. All right. So what is next for Lumen? What's the goal here?
keep chugging along for now. I mean, we want to grow the team
Yeah.
too. We already have a friend in mind who we're kind of like training right now, working with him between another part-time job he has. My goal is to meet people like that and then make them quit their other job because we get them so busy.
Nice.
It's kind of what I did with you.
Is that what this
actually.
conversation's about?
Yeah,
Am I-
actually, yeah. Come on.
We're recruiting you as we
Actually,
speak.
he shoots Sony.
That's true.
Sony shooter.
That's true.
No, we can work
Leave
with
him
that.
be.
We can
Leave
work
him
with
be.
No, I mean, I want to grow the team. I want to expand. I want us to be the obvious choice for real estate media if you're taking yourself seriously and branding yourself as an agent in town.
I like it.
Yeah, that's as far as like actual things to work on. Like, it's just continuing to refine our systems, refine our processes. We've been working on building out like SOPs so it's easy to train other people. And honestly, so we don't forget things ourselves because we've had some moments where we're like, oh,
That's a big one. Just having checklists. And
yeah. Like it can be a lot. And in this industry specifically, I feel like it is I mean, in general, in the creative industry, it's a lot of attention to detail, but especially with the real estate stuff. I mean, one little thing can ruin an entire great shoot otherwise if you miss the tiniest thing in an agent's mind. And that perception of like creating no friction between working with us and getting what they want out of their end product in the end is a big goal of ours. Like, I don't want them being like, oh, they were good to work with, like, but,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So yeah, I mean, I just want us to grow and be the obvious choice and find other people that want to work with us that have a similar vibe and just keep having fun, man. I just want
right.
to keep having fun every day.
I don't think you're going to run out of potential clients. You know, it's one of those things I feel like real estate is always sort of expanding and growing, both physically as well as in sales. and also I think real estate. Like realtors are more and more wanting to have higher quality because I mean that's with every industry. It's like higher quality is in more and more demand and expected,
Right.
and then also just that people that maybe have fought against it are giving into it,
Yes,
and people that are
much,
younger that are like I'm definitely going to do this. They're just leaning into it more and more. So
I think being in the city of Birmingham, the whole metro area is also is good for us. Like, I feel like Birmingham is one of those cities that is not always probably going to be on like the cutting edge of whatever the newest trend is. And I think that we have set this up and put ourselves in a really good position at the right time because I feel like more and more and more agents in our area are starting to adopt some of these strategies like in other big cities. Like, I don't know, I feel like when we're scrolling through our company page, like when suggested reels pop up, it's like Southern California, Arizona, the Carolinas, Nashville, and like Austin, Texas.
right,
You know what I mean?
The bigger markets, the
Exactly.
more established markets.
And just even just like those like more cities that like, to be honest, I feel like Birmingham has a kind of in ways like similar vibe to like a little more of like a relaxed lifestyle than maybe like New York City or something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I just feel like we're not going to be the first market that explores that. So like we have people to learn from, and I think it's put us in a really good spot to just like learn from other people and grow and try to be somebody's going to do this eventually. So why not us, you know?
Well, and I know I do want to move forward because I want to be conscious of time, but just in line with some of that, and we'll see it on this next slide. You do trendy sort of fun. You know, you even talked earlier. You don't really hold yourself to a super high standard with the content you're creating for yourself because you even shoot on your phone at times. But the content you do for your clients, that's where I really think you distinguish yourself from the people that are just starting out because your quality of your actual product that you deliver for them, whether it's videos or photos or like social content, it's social content not done on like a trendy level. It's social content done on like an excellence kind of level. So so props on that. And I do think that that's the kind of stuff you're talking about in Birmingham.
Yes.
People have been doing social content in Birmingham, realtors, for a long time, but they haven't really always pushed their quality of the actual product up. They still do it on their phone or they, you know, they'll hire like maybe a relatively young creative that can do some stuff, but it's like y'all are delivering at sort of like a level that I think sets you apart. And that's where that luxury brand, the sort of experience that both of y'all have, like that's where it really sets you apart. And that's why I think you're a genius for going back into the market.
Thanks.
So props on that. Okay. So we don't have a whole lot of time because I do, like I said, want to be conscious of it. Who inspires you? And feel free to touch on some of these. I feel like was that your cross country days seem to have come back recently.
All those are, those are the first two, the two at the top are definitely running related. The top one is
That was a recent one.
That was like a couple years ago in downtown Homewood, the Retro Run 5K.
Looking very retro.
Yeah, I've really embodied that. I went all out, the whole
Yeah.
look. The second
stash
one,
looks
Yeah,
great,
the
man.
stash is out.
Yeah.
it was perfect for the occasion. Those shorts were
You
crazy.
should have done a mullet on there. So
Well, you can't really see it from that angle, but there's a soft mullet going on
Really?
at that
Little baby
point in time
mullet?
too. Oh yeah, little baby mullet
That's
was
awesome.
definitely out.
yeah.
Middle picture, it was actually after our cross country banquet. One of the years I was in high school, we would do the Dr. Pepper mile.
Yeah.
Chug a Dr. Pepper, run a lap of the track, and so forth and so on. So
I've
you get a mile.
I've heard of the Krispy Kreme challenge they do in Tuscaloosa.
Yeah,
That sounds like maybe I don't know which one of those is worse.
that is definitely puke on my shirt.
Yeah.
I actually didn't use the photo of you puking.
There
but
is a photo of me puking
There
on
is a
there.
photo of you
Yeah.
puking. Yeah.
I think I got like second or third. I don't know.
Yeah.
I did all right.
Who inspires you? Who's somebody that maybe you're like looking at for inspiration for the kind of work you're doing? Maybe it's somebody that just inspires you creatively in general. Maybe it's somebody that just inspires you personally to work hard and be a better person yourself.
Yeah, I think I kind of draw inspiration from a lot of different areas. Yeah, through wrestling, obviously through media.
Is there anyone specific that that recently you've just sort of felt like you either go to them to like find that extra energy or maybe ideas?
Honestly, we did a shoot not too long ago with his sister, Lauren.
Yeah.
She's a big creative, and yeah, just after that shoot, I was like really kind of inspired to start like doing like we've been making like content on our own, but I kind of started like making little TikToks myself, just like testing the water, seeing what works with the algorithm and whatnot. But yeah, just watching her process and just being there really, honestly, was very inspiring.
Yeah, she's been doing social content for a while
Yeah.
and has really like she's gone viral a few times, right? Or I mean, is
Oh,
her
yeah.
account in general
That's
like
that's her full time job.
Okay,
At this
yeah,
point.
yeah.
And she like lives in New York City.
yeah, she
by
just
herself,
recently
so-
moved up there, right?
Yeah,
because
yeah,
she
she lives
was in
in-
Birmingham, wasn't she? Up until like within the last year.
Well, she only lived here for a year, but yes, she
Okay.
was here up until about a year ago
Yeah.
for a year. She was in Los Angeles before that. She's just moved around everywhere. I'm proud
Yeah.
of her.
Yeah. Oh, and you were a part of some of her content a few different times, right?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
and still am. We actually still are. I guess that was correct. We were shooting a video for her a few weeks ago, and it'll probably be a while before that comes out because some things didn't go as planned, and we're gonna have to shoot things that were planned that didn't get to happen now at another date
Yeah.
to complete the video.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I like to think that I'm a very small fraction of her success.
There you go. There you go. With royalties attributed to it.
just
No,
just
not
being
at
a
all.
good big brother,
All right.
doing
Well,
it for the love of the game.
Jacob,
That's
who
hilarious.
who inspires you? Do you have somebody that you either have really benefited from working with, working around? Maybe somebody that really has pushed you to new levels of creativity?
I feel like I have a few different ways to answer this. One, like, shout out to Casey Neistat. He's the one that got me into all this stuff in the first place, honestly.
So many people were so inspired by him, and,
Yeah.
and you know his stuff was just revolutionary at the time.
of
I
you
think,
too.
especially.
I loved it. It was great. Then I go to, honestly, George Edmondson with Seed Creative.
Yeah.
He has been such a blessing to me throughout my whole career.
Tried to hire you multiple times.
Tried to, and I'm stubborn.
George is great. He's super. Just hearing you talk about the comfort level that you want to give your clients and how you want to put them at ease. I just imagine so much of that. Probably you and George really were great for each other in that sense. Like George is like that. He's fun to be around. He's fun to work with, and he does put his client at ease. I almost feel like what he's done with Seed Creative, I feel like you're already beginning with Lumen. It's sort of that like, hey, this isn't new, but maybe it's a new sense to it. Maybe
Yeah.
it's a new feeling to it.
I feel like you're dead on with that. I look up to George in a lot of ways, and George is never hesitates to give me advice or be honest with me, or I don't know, just lead me in ways that I never expect anybody to. He's such an open book with me, and I feel like has mentored me throughout the years. And I mean, I owe that I'm in this whole career up to this point, honestly, a lot to him. And he's just it's funny to see myself in the same positions that he was. Like, I look back and like a year ago, I was like, I feel like I'm at the point that you were when you first met me and brought me on. He's like, yeah, you are.
Yeah.
And it's cool to have somebody to look up to and kind of like a path to follow. And yeah, someone to just get advice from who's an open book. I can text him, he'll answer. I can call him, he'll answer. And he's a great friend of mine, I would say at this point, first and foremost. And then sometimes he pays me to come hang out with him.
Well, he was one of those that definitely his work was at this level of professionalism and he took his work serious, but he never took himself very serious. I mean, the big April, we actually, what is today? April 2nd?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
the April Fool's Day video he did a few years back that really launched him in a really big way, I think, with Red reaching out to him and giving him the camera.
I don't know if you know that. The,
I don't. This
the
is new
CEO of
information.
Red saw this goofy, just
my gosh.
terrible,
Oh,
dumb video he made.
Wait a minute. You say goofy, terrible. It was incredible.
No, it was
so
good video.
well.
Drop.
It
Oh
was
my
it was
gosh.
meant. I mean, it was the most ridiculous kind of video production company promo that you could imagine, because everything that any editor or video shooter has ever done wrong or seen done wrong, they did it in that video.
We're
That's
gonna
hilarious.
watch this today.
Oh, it's so worth watching.
Got him a free Red camera.
A free Red kit, like
Yeah,
I don't
actually,
know
it's
how
not even just the
much.
brain,
I
like-
don't know how much, but you got to imagine it's got to be $40,000-$60,000
Yeah, it's
somewhere.
gotta
It was
be.
about in that range.
Yeah. It was wild, but it was, I mean, similar to what you're doing. It was this like, hey, we're going to do this, but we're going to have fun doing it. And we're going to do it at a really high level, but we're going to make fun of ourselves a little bit and have like a relaxed environment. And we're going to make sure our clients just have an overall great experience. And I think George has killed it by sticking to that very idea. And
Yeah.
I see you doing the same thing. So
Thank you, man.
Props.
That's I got to give a shout out to the trifecta of people who have really guided me to this point. I'd say George for like the business, kind of thinking outside the box, doing things differently than everybody else. Just giving me my start, showing me how to work a camera, like all that stuff.
Yeah.
Scott Malden with Vulcan Media here in town,
Yeah.
taught me a lot of how to present myself like professionally, how to engage with all different types of clients, and how to be personable to them, and interview skills. I learned a lot from him, and like sequencing and structure. And
He's a phenomenal producer.
yeah, he's such a good producer. And then Lance Holloway in Tuscaloosa taught me a lot of shot selection, really just how to get beautiful imagery. And then I worked a lot of weddings with him, and that taught me a lot of discipline and urgency. And man, you better get it right.
Don't miss the shot.
Don't miss the shot.
miss the
They only
shot.
do it once.
So
Yeah.
those-
I missed a bouquet toss one time because I was sitting down having a cup of coffee and a brownie.
Oh.
And it
I
was
bet you
like,
felt terrible
Oh,
afterwards.
I felt so terrible. And then I had to go tell the bride I missed it.
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. It was bad. It was bad. She was gracious, but it was bad. Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, gosh, you seem to have that trinity of influence.
Truly, yeah.
Sounds like a really powerful one. So
Yeah. And they're all good and at very different things too.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, props to you for putting yourself in situations to where those people could pour into you, and then being receptive to it, and being the kind of person that they would want to. So I think both of y'all are really in a great spot, and I think Lumen is set up to be very likely what you're wanting, that idea of to be sort of the industry leader or the go-to in the Birmingham market. So props all around, man.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we've got one last thing here. Best advice that you would give to, and this could be, maybe it's best advice that you have personally received, or maybe that you would now give somebody that's just getting started. And this can be creative industry in general. It could be maybe real estate, whatever floats your boat, so to speak. Best advice, and it doesn't have to be the one best advice, you know.
I think just start. Just get. I mean, a lot of people, they've got a phone in their pocket. I mean, they've got a camera on their phone in their pocket. And so just getting that, just learning what you can, learning simple composition tips. Because I think nowadays, like, a lot of people see the value in social media and like just being active online. And if you can portray that in a way that is relatable to other people, you can just really have influence.
Yeah. That was one thing with the podcast. It was like, I remember I reached out to Aaron Wilhite and I was like, I need to interview somebody. Would you do this? And he was like, yeah, man. I mean, Aaron, if y'all know Aaron, he's so willing to just do whatever, at any time, especially just help somebody out. He's just a really great guy. And, but it was just one of those things I just needed to try, and even before that, I did other stuff that was like terrible, like terrible YouTube or kind of Peter McKinnon kind of stuff that I was trying to do, But I think you're right. Like, you just get out there and do it. You'll find your voice. You'll find your style. You'll find yourself in it eventually. But you'll never find that. You'll never figure it out if you don't start.
Just going through the process of like coming up with a plan, shooting it, editing, and posting, like, you learn so much.
Yeah.
And without doing that, like without starting, it's just like you'll never learn about it. You'll never learn about yourself and like how you like to express it. Just starting.
I think just like y'all talked about, and I even just talked about, sometimes you got to copy other people.
100%.
Just copy them. Just, you see what they do, like repeat that just in obviously in your context.
Right.
But do that initially, and then let that sort of breed other levels of creativity for yourself, and then your own style eventually. So
For sure.
yeah. All right, Jacob.
For me, I would say put yourself in the position to succeed and to get what you want. And what I mean by that is the whole reason that I even ended up working in this industry at all is because I basically didn't let George ignore me. So I love to tell this story because, again, I wouldn't be here today without this happening. The girl I was dating at the time worked at the University of Alabama, and she went to like a little seminar thing that some guy was putting on, and it was, hey, like how to shoot better content on your iPhone so you can make better stuff for yourself. And if that doesn't feel like it's reaching the mark for you, then hire us. That was the whole point of the thing. And she came back, she was like, hey, this dude was really cool. And I don't know, like maybe you should just like reach out to him and see if he would like want to work with you. Cause I like just bought a drone and I thought it was the coolest thing in the world. And I watched Casey Neistat videos every day.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, cool. So I emailed him. Nothing.
I'm assuming this person was George.
This is George. Yeah, sorry, I should have said this was George.
Yeah.
Didn't hear anything back. So I waited a couple days and I was like, I was about to graduate college and I did not want to go get a job. I had to like crash out in my living room where I was like, no, I don't want to go like sit in a cubicle. I want to do something way cooler. And after a couple days, I just emailed him again and I was like, hey man, I'm very serious about this. Like, I will show up. You don't have to pay me anything. Tell me when and where to be. I will carry your stuff. I just want to be there.
Yeah.
And he was like, and this is where, again, he did email me back this time. He said, be at this construction site tomorrow morning at like 5 a.m. and you need steel toe boots.
It sounds like it was a test.
I think it was.
Like whiplash.
Yeah.
Because he said that he would get emails like that all the time and he would just like, no one would ever like actually be serious or anything. And I could have been like, oh, I don't have time to go get steel toes. Oh, I don't want to go do that. Like, I don't want to figure this out. I drove like 25 minutes away to a Walmart, bought like the cheapest pair of steel toes that I still wear to this day. Shout out Walmart. They were like $30.
Yeah.
And those have been in so many places actually. And I showed up to that site and I was like, he would ask me to go pick up a lens and I was like running to go get it. There was no need to run. He told me later that he was like making fun of me. He was like, why is this guy running to go get this stuff? Like, he could have just walked. Like, it's okay. But I just wanted to show him that like I would be there and I would work hard. And if he would like pour knowledge into me, that I would receive it. And I think putting yourself in those situations is, if you really want something and you really want to do something out of the box, putting yourself in a situation to succeed, putting yourself in the right rooms in front of the right people, and then just being impossible to ignore and working your butt off so they can't help but be like, well, this kid clearly wants it or something, that's the advice I would give.
I think that's great advice. I think too many times people are afraid to reach out. And nowadays, I mean, Instagram alone with just DMs, it's incredible the access that we have to people. And if you just will reach out, but not just reach out once, like you're saying, be persistent. I think of the biblical story of the persistent widow. It's sort of a little bit of a weird story to me because it doesn't really have much other lesson to it besides persistence pays off. It doesn't feel like a very spiritual thing, but Jesus tells the story of this widow that just over and over again keeps going back to this. I forget who she's actually talking to, whether I think is a government official kind of person. But just over and over again, she goes and she finally gets what she wants because the person's just sick and tired of dealing with her to some degree. But it was really just this idea of like persistence pays off.
Yeah.
And I think that's so true. If it shows a level of commitment, it shows a level of like hard work. Even if it's just simply like rewriting another email, it definitely pays off, especially in making those kind of connections. So that's great advice, I think, especially for people just getting started. They may email you.
Yeah.
Tell them more than once, though, right?
Yeah,
me here at 4
exactly. Yeah, and you put them to the test, and if they show up, they mean business.
You need steel toes, full PPE.
Definitely, definitely. All right. Well, thank you both so much. It's a great image to end on. I do love the photo
Christmas
shoot
card.
in general. Yeah, that was a great.
We threw that one together the last minute too.
That's in his garage.
What are you talking
in
about?
my
How is
garage.
that thrown together? That looks so.
If you only knew how thrown
mean,
together that
I
was.
feel like I know just based on that backdrop.
Yeah.
No, yeah, we were just
Quite
like, whatever. This is
wrinkled.
perfect. People will get it.
We were like, we got 15 minutes. Let's throw this up.
Literally, we had like 15 minutes to
Yeah.
set the whole thing up,
It's-
come up with poses, shoot it, and get done.
It's really great. I love it. Well, seriously, MJ, it was so great to meet you today. Thank you so much for joining me.
thanks for having us.
Jacob, it's always a pleasure,
Thanks,
man. I
man.
really appreciate you. Appreciate the time you've given me in the past where we talked, grabbed lunch, worked together. I appreciate you and this conversation, man. I look forward to the next one.
Thank you. Yeah, hopefully we can come back on here sometime and have some cool stuff to report on.
Oh, yeah.
Reunion.
Yeah.
Lumen.
We can bring a third guy to sit right here.
There you go. There's a bit of a gap.
He can
there.
hold it.
We
He can hold
left
his mic.
room. We left room. What is it?
There's might be room for 2 more people right
Yeah,
here.
honestly.
In youth groups, they always said when you were dating, leave room for Jesus.
Leave room
right?
for
Yeah.
Jesus.
There's a callback. I think we were recording. I think I said that at the beginning of this. You got to cut back to that. All right.